You don't chase. You don't cling. You don't lose yourself in someone. And yet, somehow every relationship still ends with the same quiet distance you can't fully explain. You call it independence. They call it emotional unavailability. And deep down, you're not sure which one is true. Picture this. You're sitting next to someone who genuinely cares about you. They're warm, open, emotionally present. They ask about your day, your thoughts, your feelings, and for a moment it feels nice. But then something shifts. Their attention starts to feel heavy. Their questions feel invasive. Their closeness starts to feel like pressure. So you pull back, just a little. You take longer to reply. You keep conversations surface level. You tell yourself, I just need space. And the strange part? You don't even feel guilty about it. You feel relieved. But at the same time, there's this quiet emptiness that never fully goes away. Here's what's really happening. What you call a healthy relationship isn't random. It's not accidental. It's a system your mind built to keep you safe. Because for you, love isn't just connection. It's exposure. And exposure has always felt dangerous. Most people think a healthy relationship means closeness, vulnerability, emotional depth. But for you, a healthy relationship feels calm, low pressure, and independent. No drama, no emotional demands, no one getting too close. And that's not because you don't care. It's because your version of safety looks very different from theirs. Number 1. You associate space with safety. For most people, distance feels like disconnection. For you, it feels like relief. Because somewhere along the way, closeness started to feel overwhelming. Maybe emotions were unpredictable. Maybe vulnerability wasn't safe. Maybe depending on someone led to disappointment. So your brain adapted. It learned that distance equals control. Think of it like keeping your phone on airplane mode. No notifications, no interruptions, no surprises. Peaceful, but also disconnected. You're not cold, you're regulated through distance. And here's where it gets interesting. The more someone tries to get close, the more your system quietly pushes back. Which leads to something even deeper. Number 2. You confuse emotional intensity with instability. When someone expresses strong feelings for you, it doesn't always feel flattering. It feels suspicious. Too much attention, too much emotion, too many expectations. Your mind starts scanning for hidden costs. What do they want from me? Why are they moving so fast? Is this going to trap me? So, instead of leaning in, you lean out. You label it as too much and protect your space. It's like someone turning the volume up too high. Even if it's a good song, it still feels overwhelming. You're not rejecting love. You're filtering out intensity. But here's the part people miss. Sometimes you also filter out real connection without realizing it. And that brings us to something even more subtle. Number 3. Your nervous system is wired for low stimulation, not emotional depth. This isn't about personality, it's about regulation. Your system feels safest when things are calm, predictable, and controlled. Too much emotional expression? That's overstimulation. Too many needs from someone else? That's pressure. So you gravitate toward relationships that feel easy. No conflict, no deep emotional dives, no constant communication. On the surface, it looks healthy, but underneath, it's more like emotional minimalism. Just enough connection to not feel alone. Not enough depth to feel exposed. You're not avoiding people, you're avoiding overwhelm. And that's where it gets complicated. Because what feels calm to you can feel distant to someone else. And eventually, they start asking for more, which activates something even deeper. Number 4. You protect your independence like it's your identity. To you, needing someone feels like losing yourself, so you build relationships where you can maintain control. You don't rely too much. You don't share too much. You don't expect too much. Because expectations create vulnerability, and vulnerability feels like risk. It's like keeping one foot outside the door at all times. You're present, but never fully in. You're not detached, you're self-protective. But here's the paradox. The more you protect your independence, the harder it becomes to experience real intimacy. Because intimacy requires something your system resists. Surrender. And that leads to the final piece most people never talk about. Number 5. You feel love, but you experience it quietly and privately. You don't always show it in obvious ways. You might think about them, care about them, even miss them. But expressing it? That's where it gets blocked. Because expression creates visibility, and visibility feels like exposure. So your love becomes subtle. You show up in practical ways, you stay consistent, you don't create chaos. But emotionally, you stay contained. It's like having a deep ocean inside you, with a perfectly calm surface. You're not incapable of love, you're just not expressive in the way people expect. And that's where the misunderstanding begins. Because to them, love is something you feel and show. To you, love is something you feel and protect. And here's the beautiful contradiction. You crave connection, but you guard it at the same time. You want someone close, but not too close. You want to be understood, without being fully seen. You're both deeply feeling and carefully distant. Strong enough to stand alone, soft enough to want someone beside you. And that tension? That's not confusion. That's your system trying to balance safety and connection at the same time. But here's where it can turn against you. There's a point where protection becomes limitation, where space becomes avoidance, where independence quietly turns into isolation. Because if no one ever gets close enough, no one can truly know you. And if no one truly knows you, connection starts to feel empty, even when it's there. So the shift isn't about becoming someone you're not. It's not about forcing vulnerability or changing your nature. It's about noticing the moments where your instinct to pull away isn't actually protecting you. It's just keeping you alone. And giving yourself the choice to stay just a little longer. To respond instead of withdraw. To soften instead of shut down. Not all at once, just enough to let something real exist. Because a healthy relationship for you doesn't have to look like constant closeness. It just has to include a little more openness than you're used to. And maybe that's the real definition. Not losing your independence, but allowing connection to exist alongside it. So here's the question. Are you someone who values space more than closeness, or closeness more than space? And if this hit deeper than you expected, you'll want to understand what happens when someone tries to break through your walls, because that's where everything changes.